Hello and welcome to this quick video on this thing here. This is the new TBS Tango II from Team Black Sheep. Now, if you haven't already checked it out, I have a playlist now. I'm starting to get enough videos to have a playlist on the radio to show you what it is, what it isn't, and to talk about how to set it up. Now, I've had a really good question from one of you viewers around what happens when you upgrade it. Do you lose all the memories? And I thought, you know what, there's only one way to find that out. And that's actually to do the upgrade. Now, the great news is that the upgrade for the Tango II is the same as any TBS product. You go and you download the TBS Agent X from the website, and then you plug it in, select USB Agent from the screen, and then follow the on-screen instructions just like you would updating any other TBS product. But of course, mine went a little bit wrong. But that's really good because I need to say a massive thank you to Trappy at Team Black Sheep, who's helped me a Saturday afternoon kind of figure out what was going on and to show me how to get out of this. Because if you go to do yours and something nasty happens and it kind of fails in the middle of the update, it's not bricked. Now, there are some fantastic resources available for the radio on the TBS website, and in here is lots of information, even information about how you do things like adjust the spring tension. So if ever you're looking to do something on the radio, then have a look in here first. But this is also a great repository if you're interested in trying to figure out how to use any of the TBS products or looking for tips or tricks. Now, the thing that I am really interested in here, of course, is how do I get this radio flashed if I think I've just bricked it? And the good news is there is a way. It's built into the radio and it allows you to access a bootloader for either the Jumper TX portion, which you can update via the agent, or the Crossfire portion of the radio to update that firmware as well. Now, if you're going to update something like the radio, there's some common sense things before you plug it in to avoid you getting into the hiccup that I have here. First of all is make sure that you're using the latest Agent X, download and install that onto your computer. Make sure that the battery is nice and charged on the radio too. You don't want any power problems in the middle of it. Be prepared to leave it a little while. Once you've kicked it off, just let it sit there and run through the whole thing, and just be patient. Sometimes the TBS agent can be a little bit slow. These days it has to kind of recognize everything, and then you just have to wait for the little LED in the agent to go green. Go into the manage firmware, do the update. If you can't see the beta firmware, you can get to that in the settings. Problem that I had, mine actually got a little bit stuck because it's a pre-production unit. So if you've bought one of these, won't have the same problem. But if you do accidentally get into the situation that I did, where it's kind of bricked it, then don't worry. So as I've said, the way you can do this on the back of the radio, there are two buttons, one of which, if you press it while you plug it into the USB cable, will force it into bootloader mode. Nothing will come up on the screen, but you'll get the details inside Agent X and it will appear and allow you to flash it. Pressing the other button on the back will start you in Crossfire bootloader mode and allow you to access that piece. And that's the big trick. And I'm so pleased that that back door was in there, because that has allowed me to not only update the radio,
welcome to Tango II,
but to get it all working as well, which is good.
Switch warning.
Now, if you try that and you still can't get it to work, there are some other things that you can check as kind of a last resort. The first thing to do is to make sure that nothing's been corrupted on the SD card. Now, the SD card is hidden away inside here, and you can actually see it in this picture. The SD card on mine was fine, but I did take it out and download and reinstall the SD card contents, try it. I was having trouble with it, and then tried a new SD card. There have been a couple of instances reported where people have struggled to update it, and that SD card has been part of the problem. And again, on this pre-production unit, the reason that I got into this pickle was because this is pre-production. There's something a little bit special about this one. I've got a special radio in that I had to update the Crossfire hardware first, go into the Crossfire bootloader and update that. And then once I did that, along with the Freedom TX update, it all burst back into life and everything was fine. Just a word of caution, it has gotten rid of all of my model memories, so make sure that you make a note of what those are so you can set those back up. So I would probably do your update before you then sit down and set up 5 or 6 different models, because you'll be sad when those disappear. And the last thing I mentioned is don't forget about knowledge base. Again, I put a link down in the description. Loads and loads of fantastic information on there, not only about how you get into the bootloader mode for this thing, but also, again, how you do the tension, how you do the stick calibration and everything else. So if you're looking at either get one of these products or you've got one, you want to know how to do something, go and have a look there. And don't forget, you also got access to things like the TBS Lounge on places like Facebook. That's full of people who are willing to help and have lots of information and knowledge. So thanks again to Trappy and the team at Black Sheep for helping me get my pre-production unit updated. It's now time for me to carry on setting it up on my latest model. Thank you for watching my video and watching right to the very end. If you want to find out what I'm currently working on, you can follow me on social media by searching for Painless360 in the usual places. If you'd like to become part of the inner circle, then you can become a Patreon. Details are in the description and you get lots of additional benefits. Check out the playlist section on the channel too. I organise all of my videos into playlists and it's called something like Introduction to or for Beginners. All of the content is aimed so that you can start at the very beginning and it teaches you that subject, starting with simple principles and moving up to teach you everything you need to know.